If that is the case in Hollywood, then okay, that's the case. But you got to understand, that's not my case, right? Nobody owned that dress,
right?
But me.
That's right.
Nobody told me. A $2 billion franchise.
And Tyler's a gangster too, because Tyler, I think, has done more. In our lifetime, man, in this generation, I don't think there's been anybody black that's been more successful than this dude in terms of ownership.
And I just asked Tyler. Tyler made it clear that he said, look, no one can know that I'm gay. And I'm thinking, what? Tyler Perry's gay. He's not going to change. He has some almost somewhere recently. That's not going to change. He's a gay man.
What if I told you Hollywood's darkest secrets are finally unraveling? What if I told you that the glitz, the glamour, the billion-dollar empires are built on secrets so disturbing they make reality TV look like kindergarten? Well, buckle up, because Katt Williams and Eddie Griffin are lighting the match. And names like Diddy and Tyler Perry, they're already choking on the smoke. Let's get into it. You've probably heard the saying, when the devil leaves you alone, you're doing something wrong. Well, Tyler Perry, he's been real comfortable lately. Word on the street is, Tyler once said, "Nobody can know I'm gay." And boom, just like that, the whispers turned into roars. Now listen, his private life is his business until it starts to sound exactly like Diddy's. Allegations, coercion, power trips on set.
And Tyler's a gangster too, because Tyler, I think, has done more. In our lifetime, man, in this generation, I don't think there's been anybody black that's been more successful than this dude in terms of ownership. Now, the queen was Oprah for a long time.
Right.
Oprah ain't no joke. But she teaches it to us. She done told me, Steve, got to get ownership. That's Tyler's whole mantra, but I think what Tyler finna do of late gonna change the game. He finna go past here.
Actors coming forward saying he rewrites scripts mid-shoot, flips straight roles into gay ones, and fires folks for blinking wrong. One actor said Perry changed the entire episode on the spot and demanded he fall in love with his high school bully, who also happened to be a dude. And this ain't one isolated claim. Christian Keys, he hinted there's a powerful man in the industry exploiting young black men. And guess who he's been tight with for 2 decades? Yep, Tyler.
We were filming a project that I co-produced, The Man in 3P. I was with Carl Weber, and I was like, man, I got a couple scripts, and would you mind looking at one of them to see if there's something there, there's enough meat and potato there to build that out into a book. If you got a really good script and it's already a book out there that's making noise and getting buzz, that's gonna be tough for some network or studio to say no to, because it's just multi-platform buzz and excitement about this thing. And he read it, came back and said, yeah. He's like, you can do it. I know it's intimidating, but you can do it. Let's do it. And that was Ladies Night, which ended up being, I changed the title because by 2019, when I licensed it to Tyler Perry Studios, BET already had a show called Ladies Night.
Let's pivot to Mr. Bad Boy himself, Sean Diddy Combs. Once jet-setting in private planes, now sleeping on a slab at the Metropolitan Detention Center, a place inmates call hell on earth. And it's not just jail time. No bail, denied again. The judge didn't flinch, said Diddy's a danger, not just to the case but to the people wrapped up in it. So what's he accused of? We're talking freak-offs with security teams allegedly helping him trap victims, multiple accusers, over 100 contacts with just one woman he supposedly wasn't supposed to talk to. And those parties? Ooh, you've seen the footage. Jay-Z, Beyonce, the Kardashians, Kevin Hart, Kanye. Even Denzel Washington was spotted at a Diddy party and left looking like he saw a ghost. Seriously, dude looked shook. Here's where it gets real messy. Sources say Diddy wasn't working alone. High-ranking staff, security, assistants, allegedly helping him silence victims, monitor them, find them when they tried to escape. That's not just scandal, that's organized crime, that's RICO territory. And if Diddy's as desperate as he looks, he just might start singing. Who's next? Some folks are side-eyeing Tyler Perry, the timing, the friendship, that we're building a media empire partnership with Diddy and Byron Allen. But when Diddy teams up with someone, it's rarely just business. Ask R. Kelly, ask Jay-Z. There's a moment that haunts Dave Chappelle's fans and Hollywood execs alike. It wasn't a punchline. It was a protest. Chappelle walks into his trailer on a movie set, just a normal shoot day, until he sees something laid out for him. A dress. At first he thinks, must be for someone else. But no, turns out the script had been updated.
But certain dots, like when I see that they put every black man in the movies in a dress at some point in their career, I'll be connecting them down like, wow, all these brothers gotta wear a dress. That's happened to me. I'm doing a movie with Martin.
Yeah.
The movie's going good. So I walk in the trailer. I'm like, man, this must be the wrong trailer because there's a dress in here. They come in. The writer comes in. I think he's the writer. He's like, Dave, listen, we got this hilarious scene where Martin's sneaking out of jail. So he disguises you as a prostitute. And he put this dress on and what? A prostitute? Nah, I'm not doing that. I don't feel comfortable with that.
Now his character escapes jail by disguising himself as a woman. Cute, right? Except to Dave, it wasn't. This wasn't just about fabric. This was about a pattern. Why is it, he asked, that almost every successful black male actor in Hollywood ends up wearing a dress? Eddie Murphy, Martin Lawrence, Kevin Hart, Jamie Foxx, the list is long, too long. To Chappelle, it felt like a test, a gatekeeping ritual dressed up, literally, as comedy, a quiet humiliation passed off as a joke, one that only black men were expected to endure. And when Dave refused, suddenly the script didn't need the dress anymore. Funny how quickly that rewrite happened when someone said no. That's when the wheels in Dave's mind started turning. He started connecting the dots. This wasn't about the scene, it was about submission, about how Hollywood treats black brilliance when it refuses to conform. Now enter Tyler Perry, the man behind the $2 billion Madea franchise, the same man who dressed up in wigs, glasses, and floral gowns for 20 years and called it empowerment. When Chappelle questioned the trend, Perry didn't take offense. In fact, he doubled down. "Nobody told me to wear the dress but me," Perry said in an interview. "It's my uniform. I put it on to make people laugh. It was my decision, my call, my empire."
Other people in Hollywood and in the industry that say it is much easier, especially for a black man, to become successful when he chooses to put on a dress. How would you address that?
If that is the case in Hollywood, then okay, that's the case. But you got to understand, that's not my case, right? Nobody owned that dress,
right?
But me.
That's right.
Nobody told me. A $2 billion franchise. Nobody told me to put it on.
That's right.
Nobody makes me put it on.
Okay.
Nope, that was all on stage. Black man owned the whole show.
Right.
It was my choice, right? So when I got to Hollywood and wanted to do Diary of a Mad Black Woman, it was my choice.
He framed it like a business move, like a badge of hustle. But critics aren't buying it. Was it really just putting on a costume? Or was it the price of admission? Because while Perry may have chosen the dress, how many others felt they had no choice? And what about the actors on his sets, like Brandon Jay, who claimed their characters were suddenly made gay without warning? Who say Tyler rewrote their entire scripts just minutes before shooting, turning comedic moments into confusing identity statements?
I have an entire new script with all new lines, pages and pages and pages. I have an hour to learn this.
That's not just costume work, that's creative coercion. The deeper issue isn't the dress, it's the power dynamic behind it. Who holds the pen, who signs the checks, and who gets told, put this on or go home? For some, wearing a dress is an artistic choice. For others, it's a silent contract, a test, a sacrifice. And in an industry built on image, what you wear can say a lot about what you're forced to become. With Diddy locked up, Tyler's name trending for all the wrong reasons, and Hollywood nervously clutching their champagne flutes, one thing's clear. The spotlight is no longer on the stage. It's behind the scenes. Whispers are turning into bombshells. And if Diddy flips, this won't just be a fall from grace, it'll be a domino collapse. So ask yourself, who's next? This story's just getting started. If you're ready for more untold truths, real talk, and no fluff exposés on the dark underbelly of fame, hit that subscribe button, slap the bell so you don't miss a drop, and smash that like if you think the truth deserves a louder mic. Because in Hollywood, silence is currency, and we don't play quiet.